And a lot of these content creators are not paying tax. Then you forget. Just because the government is not...
They're not?
Your YouTubers should be paying tax on this money.
I mean...
OnlyFans go and paying tax.
You get what I'm saying?
We are here on the other side being like, Sheba, yes, if you can just get proper management, get this, do this, do that. And it's like...
No.
How many times have you been caught drinking and driving?
I've never.
Exactly.
I don't...
See what I mean?
No, not got caught. I've never drinking and drove.
But you wouldn't admit.
No, I'm losing track.
You wouldn't. So doesn't that now support polygamy?
Where does that... How did you get there?
People act like if Trump deports Elon, they're gonna meet Elon at Spa. You know, crash that Spa. Like, no, guys, it's still a billionaire.
You're trying to warm up food with microwave instead of pressing 2 minutes of fucking number. Yeah, 08.
Oh, that's how you go. Oh, you're going the wrong way.
What did you, Saliesta? How you doing?
Dickie, you're part of the furniture here now, eh? Welcome back.
I don't know. Podcasting chill with Mushindiki sounds a bit too nice for me. What do you say?
Your floor on the way, bro.
And Nessa's stool is so comfortable.
It's a floor.
But wait, does it have a height thing?
I'm not sure. It does. It's on your.
Oh, yeah.
Left.
Yeah, it's right here. No, the thing is, it's
right
just a
is
bit too
reclined.
high because MacG is... MacG.
Yeah, very short. It's on your right.
But otherwise, how's the week been for you?
Oh, week been great, man. Battling the flu. I was in Mthatha. Yeah, I don't know which part the floods hit, but I couldn't tell that there were any floods. But I'm sure there were floods because it was all over the news. Well, I was on the flight with Julius. Shout out CIC Malema. He was there to show up for the people. I saw the picture.
Yes.
Actually, he was there to show up for the people funeral, etc.
Okay,
right, and just speak atutuze, as a public figure, which I find commendable. But on the other hand, the premier Oscar Mabuyane, he's gone. He said, "I'm taking leave. I'm out of here." But then it came out that he said he's got an emergency.
Yeah,
his son or a son of his, Luka.
Yes.
So I think, and a lot of people, especially the EFF guys, Kosa guys, were like, nah, that's not enough. We know how it goes. You don't necessarily, your family can also handle that. You don't need to take a whole month off.
But it's his son. It's his son. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong there. Some people don't come back. So.
But there's nothing he can do about it. Because it's not like you're there holding your son's hand at the thing.
And because he can just vacuum the floods?
No, just to show, be on the ground with the people, with the people who've lost family members, you know what I mean? Especially as a provincial leader. But look, credit to him, he did do a bit of that before saying, I'm going on leave, I've got a family thing I need to attend. But there was just, people who were angry about that.
Yeah.
So I think for Julius to show up as well, that was, I think he saw. Or maybe he would have showed up even if Oscar Mabena didn't take leave. But I commend him for that, man. But politicians will always, at the same time, take advantage of these moments.
Okay, so you were in Mthatha doing what exactly?
Gig.
Okay.
I was playing at a place called Empire.
So did the floods happen before or after you arrived? I just want to know.
No, before, man.
Oh, they happened before.
Yeah. You don't know about the floods?
No, I do know about the floods.
Way
but
before,
I just
like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not like I got there and there was flooding and then like a fat kid lands and then
the
water dries out and then, all the water goes to Cape Town.
That's literally
and they're like, tidal wave.
That's literally what I was about to ask because I was going to be like, so the B&B you were staying at did it have a bathtub? Did it have a shower?
It was a hotel. It was, what's the hotel called?
It's a pretty nice hotel.
There's like one big hotel in Mthatha, that one with the M. What is it?
Man.
Forgot. That one.
Mary had a little M. I don't know.
No, man.
What
You've never been to Mthatha?
I have. So what? Club. There's other ones as well. They're pretty cool dope places, actually.
Yeah, I didn't spend enough time though. But we saw a guy get robbed. It's crazy, bro.
Like in real life, and what did you do? With your
nothing. We're driving past.
you and your big hands.
Nothing. We're driving past.
So not even that. Oh,
No, I'm not there to be a hero, bro. Imagine getting stabbed because you're being a hero, defending somebody else. And and if you you know the hot zones, and the guys were like, actually, that's a hot spot. You never pass this. So no, I can't be a hero, bro.
It is what it is. I just like that. Welcome to the best podcast in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we've got Saul over here. We have got our ghost man.
Again.
The one and only. The man who was once overlooked by his family because there was a football superstar in the family. Now they come to him for black tax.
And we have our ghost guy, Philipela. We've got Tibla
Philipela
here. Shane is here. Dudu is here. Dumi is here. Tato is here. Neo is here. Fact check is here. CPO is there. Yo, Banitsi Abandu Balapa. Guys.
Are you reading their names?
Dude, I haven't gotten the same roll call taxi. Like, why?
It takes this number of people to make the magic. I mean, sound, fact checker, camera, my camera, your camera, Dudu's left-hand man, assistant producer, she's the producer, you know. Shane, okay, reserve sound guy. That guy is on your camera. Oh, that's my camera.
Okay.
And then there's your brother as well, Ubuntu. So everybody has a role.
Yeah, no, might as well bring in the people that made these beautiful curtains. Musa's Fabrics is here. Anyways, now let us get into the trending stories. So a couple of things caught my eye this week.
Yeah.
Some really sad, man. Some are found to be quite hilarious. But anyways, let's start with this one.
Go.
5 suspects released in a Kamogelo Baukudi kidnapping case. The NPA has released 5 suspects arrested in connection with the kidnapping of a 19-year-old Kamogelo, citing insufficient evidence. The suspects were due to appear in Bloemfontein Magistrates Courts alongside a 42-year-old police sergeant, Nzima Aduns, who remains in custody, charged with kidnapping and extortion. Baukudi, a grade 11 learner, was rescued on June 27 in a Webner Free State. The sergeant's bail hearing is set for 3rd July 2025 as investigations continue. Now, my thing is, why are these people getting released and this guy staying as if there's no connection between the two?
That's a good question. Because that Nzima Atunuse guy who's in jail at the moment, you read the name. Wait, this is not Atunuse. Well, that's what they call him in prison, apparently, or in the holding cells.
Nzima Atunuse, okay.
When you're in prison. But like he's one of the police. Because you're in a swap places with him.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I do have a type. I do have a type. But yeah.
Is your type dangerous guys in jail?
No, but this one time I did go with my church. We went to go visit prisoners. Yeah! And the uniform is so clean, nice bright orange. I clean in the all-star. Like, I really wanted to stay behind just for some one-on-one time. I wouldn't have minded to stay. Like, guys.
You want to stay behind?
Yeah, because not all criminals look like... When you think of a criminal, you think tattoos that high.
Yeah, I think the guys on that podcast, what's his name? Skim GP's podcast. Those guys are scary as fuck. But a lot of them are scary, man.
The awesome
dangerous
guys,
men.
But the awesome guys there that are in there for, what, is it a blue-collar crime?
That's true,
exactly,
that's true.
Therefore, fraud. I mean, I'm a little bit of fraud. I'm not saying, oh my God, don't pull the toilets. At least, like, out of 100, couple the 50 then.
No, so with this case, what I heard is that the NPA can't link, which I don't understand also. And I've got questions as well. And you know the NPA has been bungling cases lately. Because the guy who's currently in custody is an officer. The kid was taken by 2 men who
pretended to be
cops, right? But that one is an actual cop. And then when he was caught, I don't know whether the operation, the rescue operation, they went to a house where they caught 3 guys, and then the other 2, they were with the boy. I don't know now whether they ran. We're not being told whether were they all in one house and they ran. But we're told that they can't link these guys who've been apprehended to the kidnapping, which is strange because
it
the
was
two
at
were
that
caught
place. Yeah.
with the guys. I do not know what's going on, man.
Yeah, this is a bit sus. But also, my thing is, now we live in a time where we say, oh, thank you, God, like nothing happened to him. Whereas we shouldn't be, even saying that because it shouldn't be happening. Why was, a teenager kidnapped? Not that whether you're old or young, it matters not. Like, but in the first place, why a big kidnapping? Was it for a ritual? Was it for extorting money, as they've, as they've written?
That, yeah.
So the family did receive a ransom letter or what?
I don't know. The guys wanted how much? 7 million. Yeah, there was a ransom demand of 7 million rands. Now, I don't know whether the kid... We're not being told so many things here.
Yeah.
Because, look, man, if I was kidnapped in high school, they were not going to ask for 7 million for my mom,
Yeah.
Definitely not 7 million, maybe 100,000. Even that, I don't know where my mom was going to get it. You know what I mean?
10K.
Well, my 10K, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know whether the kid is a rich kid. I have no idea. The story is so weird. But also, let's be honest, I think it did cross my mind at least, maybe other people's mind as well, that the kid, sometimes it happens that these rich kids, if he's a rich kid,
they kidnap themselves.
That these rich kids kidnap themselves. These 19-year-old in grade 11 kids,
Yeah, but also...
it is a possibility. But at the moment, to be honestly, I don't have enough information from the story.
And you don't have enough money for ransom.
No, never. Not 7 million.
Yeah,
not 7 million.
Also,
7 million sounds crazy.
Yeah, and also if I had 7 million, why would I have Umdanam if the Plum?
No, but the kid was hijacked driving, right? I mean, the kid was kidnapped. I think he was driving, wasn't he? So also there's that as well. How many kids in grade 11 are driving? But you live in Bloom. There's good schools in Bloom. But also the kid went to a special school.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how I'm touching there, but they went to but the kid went to a special... The kid is the special kid, like, with his schoolmates and also... It does give that, okay, maybe they've got a bit of resources because not a lot of kids are driving to school in grade 11.
Okay, Phil, what's your take?
But here's the thing, though. On the issue of why are the others been released, I think sometimes the prosecution has to prioritize the cases that they can prove.
Okay.
So if it's a case of hearsay where with the other two, they know that, okay, fine, there's evidence that links them to this 100% that they can actually put in front of a court.
Enroll it, yeah.
Okay, when it works. Whereas if the other three are just hearsay or they might have been involved or somebody says that they were involved, but there isn't any tangible evidence that we can attach to them, then it's not really worth it to have them taint the case that we already have with this other two. So I think for me, I do understand sometimes where a lot of people are arrested for something, but only a few end up actually going the long haul and actually, being charged and arraigned.
It's like us bringing a stolen car and you're driving it, and then I'm like, I just got in this car.
Exactly.
And obviously, at the moment, we're all going to get taken in.
Yes.
But when they realize that, this guy didn't even know, he was just walking into this car.
He's like,
but this one has been driving it for three days now.
And sometimes let the small fish go so you can catch the big fish. You know what I mean? When you know that these others, like, it's minor things that they're probably going to get away with it or they're not going to be charged that much for it. So why waste resources and time? Because remember, when these people go to court, they have to get their individual lawyers and whatever. So it becomes a whole big thing where it could just be focused on one person.
They've got the most surety on about, okay,
exactly.
Sure.
That's how I read it.
So they've got something on the tunes then.
Yeah, I think it's more than just, I think they've got enough for, I mean, listen, we live in South Africa and you know that if they go after a cop or somebody who have access within the system that could actually help him, they should actually have something big on that person. They wouldn't just go after a cop or somebody in that position if they didn't believe that what they have is enough to get a conviction.
Fact checker, you've been ringing the bell.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, is there delivery?
Ice cream,
Also, I'm new here. I'm new here. Ding, to you too. It's a now with you.
When she's got the facts, she rings.
Okay. According to News 24, the ransom that was demanded was 7 million. However, 110,000 rand was paid to the supposed kidnappers, according to sources, police officials.
Who wants to guess? That's one of the ones who are still in jail.
Who wants to?
Yeah. But
receive that money.
Exactly. But my thing is, did they do research on this child? How did they land on 7 million? You know, but okay, Shab, Nazi says, I'll tell you 7 million.
And,
Do they
yeah,
know? Are there any links between
Possibly.
the cops and the family?
Possibly. They wouldn't be asking for 7 million if they didn't think that the family could
Okay.
come up
Yeah,
with
had
7
it,
million.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yo, and then
wouldn't
the
make
family
sense.
turned around and was like, yo, but we have.
Which could
If you
happen.
only knew Batman, son.
Which could happen because a lot of people seem like they have it and
Yeah.
then don't have it. I've heard a lot of girls, especially about guys, saying they've seen guys seem like they've got money till they date them, and then
Yeah.
realizing that a lot of the things are not,
Yeah.
there's like debts and all these things. But obviously, if you're gonna kidnap someone, you have to do your research, man. You don't want to kidnap somebody and then go through all the trouble, risking prison time, just to find out that they don't really have much.
Yeah, because ngoku next thing goes out, umeza ufakele gate kidnap firstborn child. Aibo. Give me a gate and what if Aibo? It was a
Yeah.
gift from an uncle or something.
But it's worrying that we're getting a lot of, there's a lot of kidnaps that are happening in South Africa. I know in Nigeria, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And like in Nigeria, there's syndicates that are known for like kidnapping, like we've seen it in the movies.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a thing now in South Africa. I know, especially this, what's this Indian hood in Jozi? I say Pristini.
Westbrook.
Fortsburg, yeah,
yes.
I've been hearing a lot of stories of the guys there in Fortsburg. The tuck shop guys have been getting kidnapped. A lot of, and it's generally involving a lot of foreigners and foreign businessmen. But the kidnapping thing is on the rise in South Africa, which is very, very concerning, man.
Yeah.
No, I think it's more about lazy journalism than anything else. Do you realize, Jorge, these things happen all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's only that
In
when
SA.
it starts getting reported on, you start noticing it.
Yes.
It's not, like, I used to think that, Jorge, why all of a sudden everybody's getting killed?
Like
Why all of a
everybody.
sudden, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah, if you sit back and think about it, it's that now that it's been reported on, it's in your mind all the time
Because-
and you see it all
Exactly.
the time.
Look back to when everyone was getting
No,
mauled
trust
by
me, yeah.
pitbulls.
People are getting kidnapped. Believe you me, it's a thing that's been happening. It's not that it's just
Is it an
starting
SA
now.
thing? Have
Yes.
you heard of someone getting kidnapped like
yeah,
us?
yeah,
Kidnapped?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys.
Okay, for instance, so what happened to all the pitbulls that were biting people?
They're still biting people. Shame, man. There's a 3-year-old who lost their life. It happened now in a squatter camp. Not Bantu Olomisa. You know this squatter, not the Mandela. What was squatter camp? It's somewhere in the east, around Boksburg, I think. There's a kid, shame, and it was not pit bulls. And when I read the story,
Yeah.
I thought it was pit bulls. And it's just like a Kasekasi, where a 3-year-old lost their lives. Just dogs bit the kid.
Yeah,
But you're
that's-
right, though. Generally, we never. It's when the journalists focus or set an agenda on a particular
Yeah.
theme or stories, and then we're like, "Hey, this has been happening so much." But like you said, it's how and when it gets reported, or there's a focus on that thing, particularly at a moment.
Yep.
So you're right, but I think the pit bulls are still out there doing their thing, man.
And also, what happened to La 1.5 quarter if we spot a pitbull? Like, I reported 3 times. It'd be 4.5.
Wait, what was
Yes, apparently, but there was...
Was there a reward for
yes.
spotting pitbulls?
If you spot someone with a pitbull, 1.5. I didn't report the other one because it's my ex and he's still... I'm reporting like 1.5 when he didn't have...
Oh, hallelujah.
Wait, is there a law now that says, are they banned?
when you
So
report.
on what basis? So, yeah, but you report that the guy's a pit bull, and then what do the officials do? After, they don't sound like they take the pit bull or confiscate. Do they confiscate it?
Yeah, I think they take them, but do they take them and put them down? Are they taken to the SPCA? That's another here that we never really know what's going to happen in the end, because you can't really go around South Africa. But now you've got a pitbull squad. 10 3 for a pitbull. Aibo, for Loni.
But so many things happen like that where there's this alarm bells are being raised, and then
Yeah.
there's an intervention, such as the pit bulls.
Yeah.
Report them, and then it goes away. Nobody cares now. It's like with the spaza shops. What happened with their registration? Remember, there was a whole
There was that.
spaza shops, illegal spaza shops. Spaza shops must get regulated and registered. Nobody ever cares about that now, right? It's gone. It's on to story of the week.
Fees must
Bing.
fall.
Fees must fall. Data must fall.
That is the biggest one. Fees must fall. Yes.
What's happening on
To
your side,
answer
fact
your
checker?
question, Moshe, according to News 24, on the 2nd of November 2022, those were false claims. There wasn't going to be any 1.5 paid if you spot. a
They sent out
pitbull.
WhatsApp numbers, Njena.
They said it was just a social media rant, but it wasn't true.
So the number, No, I'm just worried about my potential 4.5 at this
God
point.
knows fake news, bro. You fall for it. Because there has to be a law that says
Yeah.
pit bulls are illegal. Right? Then you can report these pit bulls. Because otherwise, I was like, well, on what basis are they going to confiscate the dogs, bro?
Because not all pit bulls are dangerous, I guess.
I think all pit bulls are dangerous. I'm not a dog guy, though, but I suspect all pit bulls have danger in them. It's also then how the handler handles his pit bulls. But we've also seen handlers getting killed by their own pit bulls.
Also, because they also get bitten by their own people as well.
Just don't keep dogs, man.
I mean, well, a toy palm.
What's a toy palm?
Small, fluffy.
Oh, those cute.
Like, how else am I going to describe a toy palm?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Then there's harmless dogs. Like, those are just harmless little dogs. But, like, generally, man, I couldn't eat, eh?
Yeah, no.
For dogs, I couldn't eat, bro.
I'm biased. I'll say I couldn't eat for big dogs. So,
yeah, I don't care about dogs. I don't own a dog. But on the media attention thing, I'm glad that you tried to get onto the Fees Must Fall thing, because I've always wondered, that how is it that we had a seminal moment like that with Fees Must Fall?
Yeah.
Which was a catalyst for so many other things that happened after that. But
that's so true.
It just fizzled out. How is it that we as a generation that is supposed to be the generation after the 1976 Soweto uprising, how are we the generation that now has influence and power, and Fees Must Fall has not really had an impact beyond that? After Fees Must Fall, I assume that the elections after that were going to be very different.
Exactly.
They were not really
different.
But I feel like it's something that has happened in this country before. Remember when people who fought for freedom of this country, who liberated the country, and then big business, what did they do? They said, okay, ANC is now in charge. PE was never really like an idea of black people. It was the white big business that said, okay, we are going to transfer some ownership and power, not for free though. Guys like Patrice Motsepe had to work and raise funds and get, these mines and pay back the monies. But obviously they're getting them at a discounted rate. But when you do that is you make the few happy, and then they forget about the struggles of everybody else. Similar thing happened. Funny enough, when I said I went to Mthatha and I bumped into Julius, he was there with his left-hand man, who was at the front lines of Fees Must Fall, Vuyani Pambo.
Yes.
Remember the lady who was wearing the ANC?
Man,
Nomcebo?
Yes.
Same thing happened. All these guys were at the front lines. The one guy who...
Oh, so it's a...
Yeah. Because you tell me they sitting comfortably nice in parliament, the fees didn't fall. Nobody said, nah, I remain pure, dedicated to this cause. Maybe Umncebo Dlamini was that one guy, who still right now is a bit of an outlaw, outlier, or a renegade in all of this. But you can tell a guy like him truly believed in this cause. Everybody else, and you saw Ngalama ANC bandanas and everybody else coming in the regalia of their parties. That maybe it's guys are like, hey, spotlight, and then they got assimilated into the system, got nice fat paychecks from parliament. Everybody forgot. I haven't heard that girl say anything about fees in parliament. And that was meant to be her thing. She was meant to say, okay, you guys are taking me in, but in parliament, I will continue the fight for the kids that are left behind.
Yeah, because I thought that was what was going to happen. Like, okay, cool. Listen, guys, we couldn't do much on the outside. Now we're going to be inside. Yeah. Let us see how these
fight
things
from
work
the
and
inside.
How are we going to change these things? But it's like, okay, and then what?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have a story for us?
We know what happened now to Fees Must Fall, but thank you for bringing that up.
No, because that's a thing. That's a thing, bro. And it reminds me of I did something with TikTok. Somebody like, are you now not gonna criticize TikTok because now you are working with them? Like, no, I still am. But sometimes, in their defense, maybe sometimes when you in the circle, you are able to know about certain things that are not out there. Like, for instance,
that's true.
Part of the reason why monetization on TikTok is taking a lot of time, people think that TikTok is the one that's holding it back. It's actually our very own government and the Competition Commission that is actually, because it needs to be legislated.
Oh, yes.
You get what I'm saying? Remember, the money that creators are making on this platform, that money is supposed to be taxed. And a lot of these content creators are not paying tax, then you forget. Just because the government is not...
They're not?
Your YouTubers should be paying tax on this money.
I mean,
OnlyFans go and paying tax.
You get what I'm saying? So the government should and could actually be going after these creators and saying, hey, you're making money from YouTube. This is our cut. Where's it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not, for whatever reason. Maybe they will at some point, right? So TikTok is trying to avoid that by making sure that they are getting into the right contractual and legal what with the government of South Africa, and that's what sometimes it delayed. That's information that I didn't know, that I had to ask. Okay, fine, what's going on? Because everybody's gonna be asking me about this. Why is this not happening in Africa as it is happening elsewhere? And you find that monetization, for instance, does not only not happen in South Africa. There are other territories outside of Africa that it's not happening simply because of the framework that is there that is not allowing it to happen as quickly as it can. But also, let's be honest, these companies take advantage of that. You understand?
Yeah.
The tariff thing with the Chinese.
Yeah.
Oh, we're waiving the tariffs for Africa. No, they know they're gonna benefit. It's just an enticement.
Hey, that thing, man. You heard that thing about the tariffs.
Yeah.
So China, for all African countries, has dropped tariffs. So African countries can export, which we don't do, by the way,
Exactly.
to China for free of charge. And my theory is, with the wars happening with America, the tariff wars, America is a huge market for everyone, because they consume. You know what I mean?
A lot.
A lot. As much as they produce too.
Yeah.
But now China is sitting here with these massive tariffs and can't export all these things to America, all these cars, the clothing, the Sheins and Temus of this world.
Yeah.
And now they've got all this backlog in stock that they'll dump on Africa. Because truth is, we don't send shit to China.
Yeah.
What do we export to China?
Exactly. So what's going to be that relationship? I don't mind that.
And also
I don't
they're
mind the
baiting
clothes,
us, bro.
though.
They're baiting us because they're saying, we are doing this. What are you going to do for us?
Yeah, so
It's supposed to be reciprocal. And once we're saying, okay, fine, we're also going to reciprocate that by not putting on tariffs on China, what then happens? China...
And already our industries are crippled. You know, already our industries are crippled.
Cool. Sorry, you asked me about
Yes, your story.
So you got carried away. Yeah, so beautiful story. Dallas has put out a video right now.
Okay.
You know, talking about Dallas. He's back. He's doing very well. He's on his recovery, and he put out a video where he's talking about how he's grateful that God allowed him, to survive the stroke, and he's gonna be sharing the journey with South Africa. So now, me personally, my question on that is, I've seen that whenever celebrities become the face of something, much is expected of them, much beyond what they can actually deliver. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So my question to you, gentlemen, is, do you feel that him becoming the face of this campaign that it's not an official campaign per se, right?
Face of what?
Face of
strokes.
Let's just put it. Face off.
No. This is a valid question.
Face off. I fucked up. Now I'm back doing well. I'm gonna be a good boy.
Hold your horses. He had a stroke. How did he fuck up? It's not like he said, "Hey, stroke."
Okay, let me qualify that. Let me qualify that a little bit, right? So we all know that when that happened to him, a lot of people started talking about, he was doing lifestyle led to this, right? Here's what my worry is. Okay, let me just put it this way. Here's what my worry is, right?
Yeah.
That I'm very happy that he's trying to help people by showing people his recovery and that it can happen to you, that the grace of God...
Can happen to anyone, bro.
Yeah, the grace of God can actually, help you heal and all of that, right? But my concern was, so now if he gets into this, the people are gonna be some, okay, fine. Every time now they see me at a club after this,
he can't. No.
But not when I look.
He can't.
Yeah, he's taking shots like
The face comes from that. So the face
but
thing,
he can't.
Yeah, the face off was that. I just phrased it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Remember, guys, you must take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
If you make yourself the face or
survivor
of survival, of surviving a stroke.
Yes.
And we sort of know your lifestyle before.
Yeah.
Because lifestyle decisions can lead up to a stroke.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what he did. I know he drank and sold alcohol. I mean, boom. Remember, boom. Yeah. There's
What the hell is it, Pumbo?
Bamboo. It's bamboo. He's like he was like the one selling
Okay.
it in South Africa or something like that. He's got to deal with them. And you're all white parties, you know, and it's not only clothes that were white and, you know, consumed.
Extremely
at
white
the parties.
parties.
Allegedly.
Very white.
White parties.
Very white parties. Sniff. All right, so when you now make yourself the face of walking away from that lifestyle, you can't be seen to dabble in it.
Yeah.
Bugalav, you know, said he one time, I almost did this and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
He once flushed all the alcohol he had down the drain and down the toilet and turned to God. We can't see him now. We can't see him there at Live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like consuming all these things. So I feel like what's Mfazga Salamina Musese?
Trapper.
Hauser, yeah, he's the diabetes guy. You know what I mean? We can't see him, you know,
Doing what?
playing 50 cents candy shop or something like. But you know what I mean? No. But legit, we can't see him. For example, you know, that's why I'm very careful with my things.
Yes.
I'm very, very careful with my things and having to make yourself the champion of a particular cause because it might limit you in certain bags. It might limit you in certain, you know, activities that you probably are okay with.
Yeah.
So if he's chosen that, then of course we can't see him drinking.
Like,
it's irresponsible.
Now, my thing is with that, I think it depends on the angle he takes. Is he going to take the angle of, listen, guys, I was living this lifestyle and this is what contributed to, you know, me having a stroke? Or
Be honest and vulnerable.
Listen, honestly, that is not what attributed to it. Yes, I was going out. Yes, I was drinking. Yes, I was hosting parties. But that's not what attributed to it. It's a genetic thing or it's a whatnot thing. You know what I mean? You know, so I think rather let's wait and see what he has got, what his narrative is going to be. Because literally all he says was...
Are you going to believe him if he says that genetically I was predisposed to getting a stroke? When we know the lifestyle he lived. It's like if I got a stroke today, everybody will say, well, shit, he's obese, he's been drinking, we see him on the podcast, you know what I mean? You almost can't even say, I had a predisposition of the stroke.
I think it's in the way that he's going to tell it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's literally in the way that he's going to tell it. How honest is he going to be with us? Because now if he says, well, no, actually, this is something that I grew up with, it started off as whatnot, or it's something from my family, or in the last couple of years, I was not eating properly. You know what I mean? So there's many ways that he can go about this. Next thing in terms of things, he had my life.
That would be a stroke of genius.
But so to close that off, that's what he put out. Look, just to be responsible, yes, drinking excessively does cause problems that can lead to stroke. I think it's something called cardiac arrhythmia. Yeah, that's when your heart is either beating faster than usual or slower than usual. So excessive drinking and substances.
Cardiac who?
Cardiac arrhythmia.
Do you know what we call it?
You call it what?
I'm a horis. When you start drinking,
I'm a horis. No, man, isn't that what
that's the shakes.
When the shakes, that's the shakes.
Man, now your heart is shaking.
That's the shakes, man. Come on.
Yes, that's the shakes.
Shakes and layers.
Yeah.
I have to give it to you for that one.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but anyway, it depends on how he packages this. No,
but I think him packaging it as I made decisions and this is where they got me will have a bigger impact as far as even changing people's ways and other people saying, oh damn man, I'm not exercising. Because that's another big thing, right? But I'm drinking, I'm eating this, I'm doing this, I'm living this lifestyle. Let me change. Rather than him saying, oh, it was just a mere coincidence and family genetics, I didn't even know about it, or maybe I knew about it or didn't. that would give the people who are living these lifestyles that will most likely lead them to that to go, oh, okay, all right, it's grand to get Tina because of into family. So I feel like the more responsibility it takes, the more impact it will have on people actually going, maybe I must reconsider my ways. Getting a bit of exercise.
Yeah, because it's not only about, influencing. Let's say he's going to do a school tour, going to high schools and varsities, saying, guys, listen, this is not the way to live. It will also impact us because, guys, quite honestly, like, especially, I don't know other places, but we drink literally almost every day. And it's normalized. After work drink, Suntowners. Oh, babe, let's do brunch. Brunch, I am in brunch.
Yeah.
Brunch. And we...
Let's be honest,
Exactly. And then we wake up on Wednesday. What have you done during the week? And you're like, oh, damn, I've got papalaza. What am I going to do? I'm going to have another drink.
More.
You're drinking. Now you start drinking excessively. Think about it. When Zahara passed away, I remember like a whole lot of people in the industry were like, hey, guys, we need to just need to just check ourselves because
Zahara, man,
it's not on. And then when I just say I was good, hey Chomi, but you've been drinking every day in the past 2 weeks. Like, are
nobody
you okay?
calls the other person out, eh?
Yeah, they just call them.
But it's very difficult to call an adult out, bro.
Is that a thing now?
Yeah, no.
Where they're like,
it was like, hi Zahara.
Yo, lol.
So in some sort of way, it did raise awareness because now you think about it, you're just like, and maybe like for her, it was not I'm doing the lifestyle. Maybe, she just had her own demons and things that maybe she was battling within. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different factors. It's lifestyle. It's whatever is happening essentially in your life that's causing you to maybe drink every day or party every day. What is it that you're running away from? I wonder if I tend to tell you in yes?
Can I throw something in there though?
Yeah.
The issue of the public imposing activism and role model status on people. We saw it with Bonang, people saying that, oh, you are my kid's role model. Why don't you have kids at 38? You had, what's his name? Ola Caesar with that whole, are you gay guy?
Oh, yes.
Why are you platforming this guy? And the argument was that, but you are the ones who are making celebrities activists. They don't have to be activists.
That's
you get what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah,
what's your point on that?
No, I agree. Even Shebe made a video now saying, hey, man, if you're failing to raise your kids, and it's been a thing forever. Remember that iconic interview Deborah Petter had with Kanyumbao? Same thing. She was like, yo, man, I'm not the guy. I'm not a role model, right? And I feel like, and it's the challenge that parents have with their kids versus what they consume.
Yeah.
And it's tricky because at the same time, you are in a position of influence.
Yeah.
But also, how did you get to that position of influence?
Yeah.
You did not say that I'm the one to look to.
Yeah.
I'm the guiding star for, a great life. Your kids must live like me, etc. If you like me and you happen to like me and then I do something foul, you can't then hold me accountable because you're like, yo, Saul, I tell my kids about you. I tell my kids about you. I tell my kids, you must speak like Saul. You must be smart and whatever you think I am, like Saul. Because you make that decision at home. But also, though, at the same time, oh, man, it's so tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But with somebody like Shebe, come on, bro.
Like for me,
from the onset, that's his brand. That's who he is.
To add on to that, but there's also we can look at it. But guys, I didn't ask to be anyone's role model. I'm also living my life.
Yeah, true.
It just so happens, you guys like me. You like my music or whatever it is that I put out there. But then there's also the other side, which says with great something comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility. Also,
and it is power and influence.
With a huge platform and influence comes responsibility.
But with Shebe, though, come on. But a guy like Shebe, his identity has always been being the I'm finding a word for it, man. No, the renegade, the delinquent. He said he's always been a delinquent. He robbed people, he took phones, and when he recorded his first song, was coming in through the window to rob people. So, yeah.
Wait.
Like when he got his first song, he was about to rob the guys. It was a house break-in.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Really?
He was breaking into the
Damn.
house. And then there were the
Well,
guys
man,
were
it's
there
you.
with the studio, yeah. And they was like, oh, nice beat. Nice beat. I almost stopped your heart from beating. Nice beat. Let me hop on to
That is crazy.
So how do you expect somebody like that to be a role model?
Yeah.
Eminem spoke shit about his
mom
and
all the
it's
time.
the truth. It's his truth, you know? Grew up in a caravan park, the white kid with black friends.
Yeah.
Life is fucked up. He's got this child, doesn't know how to take care of him, works in a restaurant, and he was rapping about his life and his truth. So how do you then tell a guy like that to stop saying fuck mom when that's his life? No, that's my thing. Like, Kanye Bao, her rise to fame and to the spotlight was young girl dates an old man because he's got money.
Yeah.
Rich man. So how do you then expect, why would you have the expectations of the influence that she comes with for her to have the responsibility of being family friendly when what she has built to that point, I mean, she's done lots of great things since then, acting and right, but to that point, it was built on something that we the public frowns upon.
Yeah.
So how do you expect then a Shebe to say then,
Okay,
hey,
sorry, guys, I'll be centered or
yeah. And MacG made a great thing that we expect a lot from him, but he's just living his life, and his fame was almost
instantaneous.
Coincidental. Yeah, instantaneous
yeah.
and coincidental. He didn't sit and say, I want to be famous one day and be a role model. He's probably the same guy that he was, maybe even diluted now because there's so much spotlight on him.
Yeah, because
that he was 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, because it would be weird, like walking on the red carpet with crystal meth. Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm just saying things.
people. But you know, the Shebe thing, bro. Like for me, and maybe this is my conclusion on that, is what saddens me, and I hate having to say it, but I mean, hey, this is podcast and chill, so we might as well
say it, bro. Yeah,
is that thing, I feel like this guy's life is a script that we've already seen. It's a script that's written. We know the ending. We're just waiting for this movie to end, and we know how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
I feel like his life story, the script is there. It's written.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting here, just watching this movie and just waiting.
How's it gonna end?
We are here on the other side being like, Sheba, yes, if you can just get proper management, get this, do this, do that. And it's like,
no.
That's true though.
No, but bruh. But umuntu akaconfirm it there. I think what the Zulu guys say is umuntu akaconfirm whatever. But we've seen like this one, bruh. You can just see.
Ending what?
Because I assumed that after what happened with the daughter, right? I assumed that was gonna be a light bulb.
All of us did.
In his career, a light bulb in whatever in his life, even in the people that he surrounds himself with. And Jiggy, now there's that video with the pipe, bruh. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you allow this to happen?
Yeah. I'm just happy, man, that, you know, he got a chance, you know, to be successful, to live. He probably didn't imagine this 10, 20 years ago. And if he did, he probably thought it was going to be a Somaliana hood, you know, a big hood guy, comfortable in the hood with a bottle store or two there, you know. Living comfortably. But this is probably beyond his wildest imagination.
But also,
of the life he's living, and I'm just happy he got to see that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's sad that moment didn't become the moment.
A catalyst for something,
for something, because he could have
bigger.
taken a different trajectory, the Bugalav or everything. But it's not in him. It's not in him. It's not who he is.
But
he's living his
with that again.
Truth.
It's us saying, but okay, you know what? That moment should have changed his life. But if he feels like there was nothing wrong that he did, I mean, he can only feel like, you know, a certain like a portion of responsibility about what happened. But was he drinking and driving? Did he say he was drinking and driving?
No, he never confirmed. And it would be dumb of him too, because how many times have you been caught drinking and driving?
I've never.
Exactly.
I don't,
you see what I mean?
No, not caught. I've never drinking and drove.
But you wouldn't admit.
No, I'm cruising traffic.
You wouldn't admit because it's an own goal. It's an own goal. He wouldn't come on camera and say, listen, man, that day I was drinking. But we formed that conclusion because we've seen him drinking and driving.
So my thing
We've
is,
been
again,
to his events where a fast car, and it's him in it, and we're assuming he's drinking and driving in it.
yeah, but so that's my thing. Again, we are assuming, but okay, at least if something like that happens in your life, you know, Tina, we think, but obviously, Ubombako booze will change. But
Because
if
it's your child. Man.
exactly, but
Like,
also
yo.
if alcohol was not the cause, then he's like, no, I wasn't drinking and driving, so why didn't I can sell it anyways? Because I don't drink and drive usually.
Eish.
And
Yeah.
quote unquote him, but not really quoting him. And then it's up. Is it possible?
No one's gonna sue you for that, bro. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you're right. We're all assuming at that moment.
Yeah.
But clearly he doesn't care about the optics, because even if he wasn't drinking and driving, one would think that the optics would be
Yeah.
if they see me drinking and driving, then they'll say, my daughter, this is what happened.
Yeah.
You know, I was drinking and driving. So yeah, sadly, but I think we put too much responsibility on people who didn't assume any responsibility.
Yeah.
But it's tricky. How do you, like you said, with influence comes responsibility. And how do you navigate that when people make you a role model? I don't know how.
Winner, do you want to be a role model?
No.
I'll try.
No, I don't want to be a role model.
Why?
Cause I'm not perfect. And I'm human. I probably am to a lot of people. I mean, I get a lot of inboxes, DMs, and people tell me things that suggest that maybe I'm a role model, but
And
I
what do
wouldn't
you say?
strive for it.
And how do you answer them? Sol, you're my role model. How do you answer them?
I say thanks. But damn, bro.
But deep
that's
down,
a-
you're like, "Mabuya's ni kaka yung."
Yeah, because you know yourself. And you must be, you mustn't believe your own hype. You must
Yeah.
be honest to yourself, know who you are. Don't
Yeah.
put yourself out like that when you know that deep down, you know, you're human and you do some fucked up things as well that you are maybe working on as well.
Yeah.
But I do try carry myself responsibly.
Yeah.
I'll never be who I'm not, but
Yeah.
I do try carry myself responsibly. But hey, nah, I'm not a role model, man.
I know, shout outs to you for the truth. When I feel.
He hasn't. No. He just says something beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not believing in your own hype, ne, gives you the freedom and the responsibility to not expect anything out of situations. You know what I mean? People who believe in their own hype, they expect that when they walk into a room, everybody needs to notice that they've walked into a room.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm film pale, so when I walk in here, you know, you should feel it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's a
Feel
beautiful
it.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, stupid.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Listen,
for real.
I don't know where we are now. We
Don't.
talk about what hype and what a responsibility. What for me personally, I've got an imposter syndrome,
Okay.
right? Where because I come from the villages, came to Joburg, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go into that, but I always felt that I did not belong in rooms that I was in, and I always had to be reminded that hey, you are here because
Yeah.
you belong here.
Put in the
right?
work. Yeah.
Funny thing just happened the last time I was here, and Taki comes. Taki, you all know Taki.
Yeah,
Taki
Taki,
was like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, hey Phil, bruh, yeah, I just wanted to meet you." Like he's all giddy and very excited
Yeah.
to meet me, né? And one of the things that I fear about this industry happened again. I felt so uncomfortable because I didn't know how to react. You know when somebody's excited
Oh,
to
yes,
meet you
okay,
and whatever.
yeah.
I didn't know how to react, and I did the best that I could. And then we get into in here or maybe the other room, and I had to say to Dudu, "Oh my God, I hope I didn't, give him an off thing." Because,
Yeah, because it's like,
kind
oh my God, I love your work here.
yeah, it's that.
Sometimes if you're speaking as no man pangela, I love your work.
Exactly.
Pangela. Literally, sometimes I'm dumbfounded. I'm like,
Yeah.
or someone will come with a line I've said on the show. I'm like, okay. Yeah, no. So guys, there's another story that caught my eye this weekend. It reminded me about a conversation that we had the last time I was here.
Yeah.
With, was it Jacob Zuma and Ulakonko? Kanena, how long did that courting process take?
Hey,
Yeah.
that Congo has said it took a while though. She did say it took a
Yeah.
while. Apparently, I was very patient with her.
All right, so Phil, did you see what's happening with
The Swati.
that? Yeah, with the,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm like, Can't you not teach you about the 3-year rule?
Okay, let's set it up. Okay, cool. So, the newly wedded wife of Kim Mswati III, who is a 22-year-old Nomcebo Zuma, who is the daughter of our former president Jacob Zuma, apparently left her marital home because the husband, who is the king, was not showing that much attention to her. Now she is deciding, this is not working out for me. So the conversation here basically is, for me, let me just talk about me. For me is, okay, girl, you are 22 years old in 2025. So you probably are familiar with something called the internet.
Yes.
You are an educated girl. I'm assuming that maybe you are a first year varsity, second year varsity, or if not, you've gone to good schools because of the resources that you have in your life.
Yeah,
so you are familiar with the Swazi royal family.
Yes.
And you also come from royalty. So you are familiar with how things work there. What were your expectations, right?
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, I'm willing to accept and be open to a conversation about was there coercion based on what family you come from? Because there are certain families where we hear talk about consent. We hear talk about consent in the street.
Yeah.
But in certain families, there are people that, even though they are grown, still have to adhere to what is
Certain
expected
rules.
of them within the family. And when I sitting from the outside, you be asking yourself, hi man, Saul is an old, he's old. Why is he? But Saul wants to still be part of that unit, of the familial unit, right? So Saul will adhere to that. So it's two things. Girl should have known coming into this. This is a 57-year-old man with 40 kids, I think.
Around about,
check out. A lot of wives, man. 11
16 wives.
Oh,
obviously, he's not going to be at your house every day.
Yes.
He is the king.
But also, Jacob Zuma, he understands, royal structures and so forth.
Yeah,
and how
no, I'm saying
the
father, yes. The father.
So was there not a sit down of, okay, listen, this is what is most likely to happen.
Yeah.
He's not going to have time for you all the time.
I think there was.
So essentially part of the coercion, is just to one for the team, just to strengthen the bonds between the two families, So, did they not sit her down?
I think they did.
And warn her, or basically?
Yeah. And so, before you answer, let me just put this out there, because as I was looking into this, right, I was not that familiar with the Swazi royal house and marriages. I found out that 3 of the wives have also left the man.
Yeah,
2.
But
2, 1 died. Yeah.
Yes.
2, 1 died.
I mean, I was going to say passed away, but you're dead.
Yeah, and one committed suicide. You get what I'm saying?
Ooh,
so
suicide.
Yes. The one passed away. No, 2 passed away. Can you just allow me to say this? You're going to get me into trouble.
Oh, sorry.
So 2 passed away. One committed suicide and 1 died of skin cancer. Right? And the other 2 all left him. One came to South Africa and decided, this is not for me.
Yep.
And the other one apparently was in an affair, allegedly, with a bodyguard and, actually has a child with that bodyguard.
Yep.
And there was another one who left but then came back. And that one who came back was much more interesting to me. I think her name is Queen Lakija, or however they pronounce that.
Yeah.
What fascinates me about her is that she came back, and for 10 years, 10 is alleged that she did not see the king. And that was her punishment for leaving the royal household. 10 years of not seeing your husband.
Man.
Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Her sleeping with the allegedly.
Bodyguard, the helper.
Yes, her allegedly sleeping with the body. Like, do we blame her though?
No.
Because honestly, my partner, we're not going to see each other for months on.
But I do blame her. I'm lying, actually. I take it back. Because you signed up for it. Remember? And even with Jacob Zuma's child, she probably was told, because remember, Jacob Zuma himself, Jacob Zuma, he's a polygamist himself. So she also comes from a household where she's seen how her mom, for example, or has seen how her mom wouldn't see dad for the longest time.
Yeah.
Even worse when he was the president, because now you're running the whole country. So when this man is a king, surely she was told that you're going into a polygamous situation, here, right? You're not gonna see a man that much. You may see him for the first few months, 3 months, because it's a new thing. But he's got till he dies. It's not even like he's got 4 terms, 2 terms.
It's his job till he dies.
Till he dies, it's his job. He's going to be making these visits, to heads of state, he's got all these engagements, and some maybe literally engagements.
Yeah.
Because he's taking another wife, right?
Yeah.
So she had these expectations, and I think in life sometimes there are moments where you get told what to expect in a thing.
And then you're like, yes.
And then when you're in it, you're like, yo, I ain't gonna. I'm not built for this, right? And I feel like that's what happened. I don't even think she was coerced into it, because Jacob Zuma was the president. I don't know when she met him, but obviously head of state, monarch, meets, I like your child, etc. Because
that doesn't sound right.
What do you mean?
Come over to your house.
Yeah, sounds predatory. Rephrase that.
No, but
no, sounds predatory, man.
No, well, she's old.
I like
she's
your
old
child.
I don't know whether she tells him. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But it feels like he must have met the child through the dad.
An engagement
somehow.
of sorts.
Isn't it Reverend Kosa's daughter had a thing with Jacob Zuma, no? No?
No, child.
No? Fact checker. Ring that thing of yours. Ring.
But here's the thing, though. You might be onto something, because here's the thing. In the Swazi marriage situation, right?
Yeah.
I think the first two wives of the king were not even selected by him. They were selected by the royal council. Why? Because every time the king takes a wife, from what I understand, that is to strengthen alliances within the clans of the Swazi, nation, and the relationships with other, families and all of that.
Yeah.
So you're not really far off, but the way that you're phrasing it, I like your child.
No, but
I'm defending you, my brother, but at the same time,
I don't need to defend. Isn't it? Hey, man, we watch Shaka Ilembe, man. We see in Shaka Ilembe, the last episode, the what are they called? That clan?
Then Ndwandwe.
The queen was like, yo, this king's gonna be there. Show yourself to him. Be seen by the Mtetwa king. Be seen by him. Right?
Yeah.
And even when those Swati people with the I think Abogwa, not Abogwa Zulu. Hey man, there's so many clans there. But it's a spoken about thing. And there's people who live that life even now.
Even the European,
monarch, Zuma's not of royalty, but they get how it goes. They're very aristocratic. Their family's high up there within the realm, those royalty realms. So even these days it happens. But I feel like
but also, sometimes, guys, I think because I don't come from a polygamous family.
Yeah.
I don't have friends that, know a lot about that as well, or have been in those situations or whatever. But my thing is, sometimes, okay, Shab Saiva, it distance. Maybe she expected that. Maybe she was warned about that. But what about the treatment when the husband is not there? Now she's just left with this family that is new to her. So I always imagine it in my mind. How about you when I don't go quick castle? Oh, okay, Nandi's go quick castle. Oh, I get way to London. Oh, okay, Shab, let me come visit. I always imagine a sisterly bond.
That's not happening.
That's how they presented. Oh, sister wife. Kanti.
That's not happening.
With humans,
fact
there
checker.
could be beef, animosity. Yeah, you've been ringing.
To answer your question, yes, he had an affair with Ivan Khoza's daughter, and they have a child together.
Yeah,
is he the one that left? Is it Lamagwaza? Please check. Is she the one that actually left? Because I know the one that's living in South Africa that has a child in South Africa.
No. That's Jacob Zuma's. That's Jacob Zuma and Ivan Khoza. She's confirming.
Not the Swatis.
Okay. Whoa, that's
yeah.
Jacob Zuma's daughter
had an affair.
has a child.
No, Bob Zuma has a child with Ivan Khoza's daughter. Huh?
Her name is Sono Nokhoza, and
Sono.
she was yes.
No, man. All right, can check out anime. Ivan Khoza's a dangerous man, bro. Please don't laugh at these things. What's that?
Sonono, S-O-N.
Oh, Sonono.
So with that, was it ever something that was, sat down for discussed?
Probably.
Okay, cool, listen. Because I'm sure they're friends to some sort.
Yeah, of course. He's a huge player in South Africa. I'm like he's a huge personality. Of course. I mean, think about it, bro.
Yeah.
If I'm as powerful as Irvin Khoza and the president then, or former president has a child, of course I meet him. I may have met him and that's how he met my child, which was my point earlier on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But like, my thing is, man, I'm all for polygamy. I support polygamy. I think most men do. Gents, who supports polygamy by
Polygamy,
show of
guys?
hands?
Nobody in
But
studio.
for you, okay, for you,
Yet
why do
you'll
you,
find they've all seen more than one woman at the same time.
Okay.
but for
all of
you,
them.
why do you support it?
Because most men have seen more than one woman at the same time. And they knew that their love for this one and that one was genuine without, it conflicting. No?
Okay. No.
Nope.
No?
But I don't think that's the
Ah,
reason for
no.
polygamy, though. It's
No,
not
no,
about,
no.
I can multitask like, ooh, look at me in your favor. No.
True. No, but you're right.
I
No,
think
but
it is more to grow a lineage or whatnot, like as they
I
put
feel like
it,
that's the
I think.
excuse for it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's the excuse for it. Like, I feel like that is what Oaks use
Yeah.
for it. Okay, maybe let's rewind. I feel like men are able to share,
Ooh, their hearts.
even if their reason is to expand the family
Okay.
further,
Yeah.
but men are able to share their heart.
And
No?
sure, what else?
Everything else that comes with it. Oh. I feel like men are able to, but my thing is,
Yeah.
when it starts getting to 12 wives, even 4 wives, 5 wives,
yeah.
ridiculous.
Two,
My thing,
sure.
2, yeah.
Okay, but
2, yeah. 3, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
4,
Aye.
ridiculous.
Like, there's no need.
Because now, yeah, like especially when there's a 22-year-old. Sorry,
Yeah.
Phil. Especially, I'll give you a chance now. Especially when there's a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Bro, she's in her prime. She wants the attention. She wants, because women are as sexual, if not more than men. Women are very sexual, bro.
And also,
Women are not like, a lot of men tend to think women are this thing that more like that, like on manje. No more buba on. And then what happens?
no, but also I think with women as well, with a lot of my girlfriends, they would say, but sex is not like Tina for us, touch and go. Like it's very easy to get aroused. For them, it's a whole romance. You start with a message during the day. Oh, what are you going to be wearing? Whatever. What are we doing tonight? Let me take you out. You have to go when there's
That's why women need foreplay, for example.
exactly.
That's
So
why
for
the sex with a woman doesn't, like you said, doesn't begin with penetration.
Tesla,
Right?
yeah.
It begins with so many things. That's why a guy, you'll have dinner, do all these things, touch, etc. Then she's wet. Right? But with a guy, he'll probably sometimes right? And you've been having all these things, dinners, etc. Those don't excite us as much.
Yeah.
But like with a woman, she needs that kind of attention.
Yeah, still need to be courted within the within
So
the
I
courtship.
believe I think polygamy works, but hey man, when it starts to be 12 wives, just know that a lot of them are seeing other people.
Yeah, but my thing is, now that she's left, is it now a family emergency? Does the king need to come back? Or is
Yeah,
it going to be like,
probably,
no, I'll deal
because
with it when I come back?
cows have been paid or whatever. But my thing is this, though, right? And maybe that's how we can wrap this, is that I feel like this is culture evolves.
Okay.
You understand? And the young kids that are at these reed dances, or the young kids that the king might be interested in having on, are the kids now who are part of the culture that has evolved from what, the traditions of the Swati nations are, right? So my thing is on Sam Khore, do you guys think, Khore, this is a spark that is now going to permeate in the future in terms of him getting more wives? Because now it's becoming very evident that these wives demand more than just being obedient to their culture and all of that. What do you guys think?
Because now I'm at 2000.
Because kuphelile manje, kuyaphela. Like that's the whole 15. Because I mean, Mswati's father had 70 wives. Usobuza had 70 wives, 250 something kids.
So many kids, bro. 200. Let's be honest. Were those all his kids?
Yes. Come on, guys. They will kill you. They will kill you if you fucking kings.
Phil,
But it is possible.
There is technology now. There's social media, all these things, right? One thing that never changes since time immemorial is humans and human behavior.
Yes.
So there were of those wives, some who felt like he neglects me.
Yeah.
I'm going back home.
Right.
But there wasn't journalists. There wasn't someone in clean who's gonna tell somebody outside and become the source. Baba Bisa and Sunday World, the what mouth, I cannot what lip. They refer to sources as the there's these things they refer to like these people. Oh, I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
Right? There weren't those people. You know, they were there, but they weren't the outlets. Of course.
It is possible.
I think
Somebody with
hide
70
me
wives,
admin.
you have 200 kids.
Dude, you can't
It
have
is
70
possible.
wives and none is sleeping with anybody else but you.
Oh, if you put it like
sleeping.
that,
But
then you should have just put it like that. Jorge. Do you think that none of them were cheating? I would have said, of course, some of them were cheating.
And I said the 200 kids
Yeah.
probably someone his.
Yeah.
That's what-
But it is possible for somebody to, with 70 wives,
With
to
70
actually
wives,
have,
like have.
No,
how many kids do you have?
numerically.
50 something.
Yes, numerically and physically, and
yeah.
the biology allows it to.
Yes,
of course.
Your
I can-
ejaculation, your when you're coming, I mean, you're
No.
producing 1,000 sperms there. So if the fertility thing is
And
working
then you
properly,
leave on Monday, then
every
Tuesday,
two-
then
you can
Wednesday.
actually make a baby every day with different people. Remember, this is not just one person, right? Because
Yeah.
the female system, right? Once it's been fertilized, it closes, so no other sperms can get into the ovary, right? That's how biology works.
Yeah.
But now, if you are a man who's sleeping with somebody every day of the week,
Yeah.
ne? And those people are ovulating and their ovaries are receptible to your sperm, literally you can have a baby, you can make a baby with somebody every day of the week.
Because
So
also,
doesn't that now support polygamy?
Aye.
where does that? How did you get there? How did you get to the
No.
support?
You said when a woman falls pregnant, nobody else can impregnate her for the
Yes.
next 9 months.
Yes.
But a man can still go on and
Yes.
impregnate others.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they should.
It doesn't mean that they should.
No, but physiologically it's
Yeah,
possible.
yes,
it's
it
in
is
the
possible.
realm of possibility.
Yes.
Yes. So I wasn't saying that the king, some of Osobuzo's kids weren't his because of physiologically. It's not possible. But we know that he was not there. He had to travel. He went to go meet the queen. Had to go do all these things. Had to go see the other wives. And like we said,
Let's say
a
Vince.
man of stature like that marries young. You're not getting a 42-year-old, 38-year-old, 39-year-old woman. He's getting all the 21-year-olds, the 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, as much as you may frown upon it. But the kings do that. Do you think when he's gone for 6 months from this one particular girl who's 20, she's waiting for him? No. Yes, he's the king and she should. But reality is,
They're
getting banged.
because humans are humans. Now it comes out because of journalism, social media, yakhulunywa, nama WhatsApp, somebody from the royal
screenshots.
palace, nama camera, somebody from the royal palace told the other person. But since time immemorial, kings have been cheated on.
Okay. Fair enough.
Kings have been cheated. Rich men now get cheated on.
Yeah, no. I know a. I almost got you. Like, oh yeah, I know. No.
Yeah.
It's in Indo divorce.
But let's leave the divorce. Let's talk about Elon.
You want to talk
Nah,
about?
let's get
That's
into
another divorce.
I don't want to talk. That is
Actually,
actually
that is
another divorce.
It's
That's a
another divorce, right?
Yeah.
A huge divorce. On a global stage for all of us
Do
to
you
witness.
know why I'm pushing for Elon? Because I wanted to bring this up because this shocked me, right? Jorge, podcasters in the world right now have influence in international politics. Here's what's happened. You know
Okay.
Candace Owens, right? If those who don't know who Candace Owens is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Candace Owens is this American commentator, podcaster, YouTuber, very controversial,
Yeah.
very right-wing, very conservative, right?
Yeah.
Just came out, I saw this yesterday, just came out and said that Donald Trump, the most powerful man on the planet, the most influential man on the planet, actually called her to ask her to stop talking about the wife to the president of France because that situation is causing problems with the negotiations that they were making regarding the war that's happening in Ukraine and Russia. Now, think about this for a second.
Okay.
The president of the United States of America is calling a podcaster to say, stop talking about this topic because you're talking about this person. That person's husband is the president of this country that we are in negotiations with for this humanitarian crisis. How crazy is that?
So Candace is American?
Candace is American.
American podcaster, okay.
But Candace is a podcaster.
And there's
Donald Trump had to call. Guys, you guys are taking this lightly. Why are you not shocked? Let's check the time.
The fact that
I'll tell you
Cyril
what.
Ramaphosa,
I'll
right,
tell you what.
is in the middle of a cabinet situation
Man.
with Julius Malema, right? And then Cyril Ramaphosa calls MacG and says, hey, MacG, we are in negotiations right now, but can you please stop talking about Julius Malema's wife? Because you talk about Julius Malema's wife.
I mean,
it's pissing him off.
it's absolutely crazy and hectic. But
It's not.
okay, if I stop, what are you going to give me?
Explain it.
You should have said that in Venda, by the way, because Ramaphosa will speak to in Venda with MacG.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not even like crazy these days. Bro, if you look at how Trump ascended to the presidency,
Yes.
Yeah.
when Kamala Harris was, covering so much ground,
Yeah.
Trump then realized that the power, because CNN and all these other commercial
mainstream
media, of course, they speak for whoever funds them, right?
Yeah.
And the people who were funding them, they were against Trump, and the narrative was always negative towards Trump.
Yeah.
That's when Trump then changed his strategy, and then he got to realize the power of podcaster, went to Joe Rogan. There's this guy, who's this white South African guy? The guy who looks who's
Pale.
young, but looks very old now.
How?
Yeah, his age came out, and I was shocked. It's like my age, but it looks very
Who's
old.
that?
What's the guy who left AfriForum and stuff? From Pretoria.
Fact checker. Yeah,
Fact
work on
checker.
that.
Yeah. He's the guy who's been leading, who's been doing the tours. Even him,
Yeah.
he does the tours on these podcasts. So Trump went onto all these podcasts, big podcasts, because that's where the honest, unfiltered, unbought voice is at right now.
And
So
also,
Trump
also
knows
geopolitics, yeah, we're talking
unlike
geopolitics.
unlike our president who's been refusing to come or who's been avoiding to come
Yeah.
onto this very same podcast, you know?
It'll be easy.
Yeah, he's not busy. He's busy, but he's not that busy that he can't come on the podcast. But this is where the voice is.
Right. I get that. But
Trump
here's the
gets
thing.
it.
But I get that.
And
right?
it helped him get to the presidency.
Did I explain this properly? This
did.
was the negotiations about what's happening between Ukraine and Russia, the war that's happened between Ukraine and Russia,
Yes.
right? And Emmanuel Macron is saying to Donald Trump, go tell a podcaster to stop talking about my wife being a man. And then I will come to the table. How is that not an outrage? Like, it does not make
Yeah,
sense.
that does not make sense. Okay,
Because
absolutely
he knows that the story will...
It's gossip, bro. It's a podcaster gossiping. And that is affecting geopolitics.
The world believes
The world that we live in right now.
believes podcasters.
The
world
clearly I'm
believes the
still stuck in
podcasters.
1990.
And that thing is,
it doesn't make sense to me.
it's
A whole
gaining
politician.
traction. That thing is gaining traction.
This is people
And
dying.
in
Human
order-
humanity. What's the word? Like humanitarian crisis.
crisis. So,
And
go pause the
Candace
podcast.
Owens is the one who's supposed to say, "Hi,
Yeah.
well, guys, hey man."
Well, the fact that it got to him,
Yeah.
the news got to him, and also it may be because we saw the wife
Yeah.
slapping Emmanuel Macron. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the private
So-
jets, yeah.
so there's those relations as
Yeah.
well, and that she's got a very big voice within the marriage.
Yeah.
And to have a happy marriage, you got to have a happy wife.
wait,
And
so-
if your wife says, yeah, I see you've got a meeting with your uncles, etc., but can I please get this item for the household before you go to meet your family? You're not gonna say, chill, they're more important than you. Just get the bloody thing. She's happy, leave. Otherwise, you'll come and you're expecting another child.
Never mind
And it's not even
bordering,
yours.
okay, on censorship
Yeah.
and and all of that, but like, so this lady, okay, show big voice in fine, in the family and whatnot, but like, ma'am, like, but she knows it's not true. If she knows it's not true, then why though? No, tell them to stop it
No,
now.
it's been like talks.
No, she even
It's been
sued.
rumors for a while now.
Yeah, she sued. Oh, she sued 2 YouTubers
She
and
did,
got awarded like $8,000
Because she's not a man.
dollars.
Yeah.
But Candace
but did you see
Owens
that
went
slap
on
though?
a 6-part or 4-part series where she's like claiming to be producing evidence that Brigitte Macron is actually a boy, was born a boy, Jean-Michel Tragor or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a thing for a while now. It's been a thing for
But for
a
it
very
to come
long time.
into like huge, big politics like that,
Yeah. No, but let's be serious about. Okay, let's be serious about it. Also, there is an element of the right-wing politics, especially in Europe and America, right? That if they can't get to the man, they will go after the wife, right?
Oh, yes.
And they have a tendency of, if the females that are not of the Republican Party, you know, the GOP, are also looked as or trying to be painted as too masculine. They're not the trade wives. They're not who's the Nara Smith.
Nara Smith.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's in your face, but it's not only, you can miss it, but it's in your face. If any of you here have seen this channel called Fox News in America,
Okay.
and you look at the women that are on that channel and how they dress, right? And this also takes you back to that movie that Charlize Theron did about Fox News. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Oh,
they
the
talk about the sexual
when they
allegation or whatever.
took,
Yeah, they're all skinny.
then-
They're all always, you know, short dresses.
Yeah.
You know, they're all for some reason blonde. There's a few there that are not blonde, but is that aesthetic of what a woman should be? The woman, you don't complain, you stay at home, or if you do work, the man is the center of your world, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So what they do is that, to contrast that, they emasculate the female on the other side.
Okay.
That's why you'll see things about Michelle Obama is not Michelle, it's Michael. Was born a
Yeah,
man.
I've been seeing
You
that.
understand? You'll see that a lot, that they will do stuff like that. So for me, my understanding of that is what influences that and what fuels that thing. It's not necessarily true or not true, and to try to prove it, you're wasting your time, because they are using that as a tool, you know, to contrast between their side and their side. The women are on our side because they are submissive, they are pretty, they are skinny, and all of that. The women on this side are less off because of that.
But also, Donald Trump is just, Zinitha is confused at this moment. I think guys, do you know that post-breakup behavior? Like, in the love of your life, you can't think, I was Utini, because
Hey man, wild times those.
Yeah.
have you ever like been so
Yeah,
heartbroken?
I went through a breakup. I have many
At
breakups.
Fuku, you're
I
trying to
know.
warm up food. Go microwave instead of pressing 2 minutes of fucking number. Yeah, 08.
Oh, that's how you go. Oh, you're going the wrong way, bro. Oh, that's how you go.
Let's also go, because also he also what's the thing, obviously he loves Twitter. This whole thing of statesmen having press conferences, Donald Trump is just like, I'm at I'll just speak to them. So in a striking rebuke, former President Donald Trump took to social media on Tuesday to target tech mogul Elon Musk, aka ex-girlfriend, aka, asserting that the billionaire owes much of his empire to substantial government subsidies. Trump's statement, delivered through his preferred platform, which is X, accused Musk of building his wealth on taxpayer dollars, claiming that without these financial boosts, Musk would be forced to shut it down and head back home to South Africa.
Oh yeah,
I think it was on.
I suspect already because
like seriously.
Yeah, I think Trump vented that out on Truth, so he's got his own platform called Truth, and that's where he always like, these things look like tweets, but they're not tweets.
Oh shit,
They just post from Truth. Yeah, it's his own social, from Trump Media or whatever social network. I think the Truth and the TRU Truth is for Trump. Yeah, it's Truth. So yeah, that's what he said. And I've always wondered, because Doge was this whole thing that's meant to minimize, public spending and taxpayers' money being
because they're the ones
wasted,
that go
almost
through
like something
everything.
similar to SIU, but ours plans on recovering the monies that were wasted. This one plans on stopping the spending.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered why Elon has never been subject of Doge. And for me, I feel like Elon overplayed his hand, man, Because we've been seeing Elon walking around the White House, almost cosplaying as an American. And I'm like, man, bro, you're South African. And you're fortunate and lucky enough that, yes, and I think that's where the confusion came. The fact that you funded this guy and you helped him through your money, him becoming the president, but also always remember your place. If Mushe is Awami, and you're really of great help in this household, you're very valued in this household, you can't ever make the mistake thinking you're the head of this household.
Oh, yes.
Because I could always kick you out, man. Fuck you and your money. There's always somebody else with more money in this world. It's at the same time, and Trump is very patriotic. And I feel like that's where Elon got it wrong. He overplayed his hand and his power and his influence. And also, especially when the American presidency role has always been seen as the most powerful man in the world. And here you are. And look, it's perceived as the most powerful man in the world. But truly, the real power lies in whoever's funding him, because he who's funding him controls him. But all those guys generally have always been in the background. Behind these curtains, they pull in the strings. We don't see the hands. And
Elon, what was he? What is it Elon or Elon?
Elon.
Both.
Elon, so
Elon.
When
he's back in South Africa, go Elon. In America's Elon.
Why? Busy, like literally taking his child to the White House. Like
in front of the whole world.
Like taking his child there as a man. Don't worry, I know people who know people. And then how did he think things were going to end up? Because Trump is saying, he knew that the electronic vehicle mandate was not going to pass either way. So why is he throwing his choice now?
Okay, 3 things are happening in that conversation, right? Number one, there's a saying, he who pays for the meal gets to choose the menu.
Oh,
yeah.
So you are right in saying that because Elon Musk was funding the campaign, the presidential campaign, Donald Trump, he felt that he needed to have a say within his cabinet. And Donald Trump did reciprocate by giving him, that Doge title. But from the word go, Elon understood that that government post, traditionally, it does not last for more than the period that, it had been set out for. So he never really had a permanent position in the cabinet, nor do I think that he wanted one, right? To answer your other question now, which is my second point, is the thing, why are you asking? Elon, to be fair, has never done anything to overstep except only to criticize Donald Trump's big what bill. I think it's a BBB
bill,
right? Where he feels that bill is going to disenfranchise the very same people that Donald Trump courted during his, presidential run, which is actually true. Nobody likes the bill. Even people within the Republican Party, you've got senators and lawmakers within the Republican Party who are saying that this bill is seriously going to harm the very same people that voted for Donald Trump, which majority of them were actually from rural America. That's number 2. Number 3, here's the thing. Elon Musk put the money behind Donald Trump, and Elon Musk has every right to want to see where his money is going to, right? But here's the thing. For Donald Trump to be threatening with Elon Musk by saying, we are either going to deport him or we're going to have the government look into, we're going to have Doge.
His business with the government.
I'm sorry, and I'm not meaning to insult Americans, but how stupid are... So the very same person who came in to come and look at government overspending knew his company was the one that was actually taking more money from the government than everybody else.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, you can check the fact checker. Elon Musk company, Starlink, and the EV company, what's it called? Tesla. Get more government subsidies than any other company.
Yeah, of course.
In America. So Trump knew that even when we were still talking about overspending and Doge is going to fix this, you already knew that this guy is actually the person that should be the one that you're taking money from, and you were okay with that. But now all of a sudden, because he's not on your camp, you're coming in to say, now, we're going to have to go look at him.
Go home.
I don't get it.
So like the whole time, Kanji, when they were doing these dealings, my thing is, I think Elon... you know what, my money is going to be more important than anything. But remember, the money was used to get him into presidency.
Yeah.
So now he's already there, and it's like, Elon, what's your use?
Yeah, Trump calls the shots.
Yeah,
man.
what's your use? Because declined him now.
Yeah.
You should have just played in the background. I don't know, man. It's that thing where guys get money and then the money's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to not have the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know those things where same holdings in KZN, where you've got all the money in the world. You don't need to call cameras.
There's a thing.
You've got 100-car convoy going to the Durban July, which is now actually. Ironically, you don't need that. But there's something about wealthy men that the money and the freedom and everything that money can possibly do for you, they've exploded, and now it's the next frontier. The let the world know that I run this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Fame is
'Cause
addictive.
It's
Fame
not
is one hell of a drug.
It's
It
not.
is.
Yeah.
It is. It's an alluring. Yo, fame, bro. You do.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen people that have
Fame
been,
sucks.
been in this industry, left, came back. And my thing is, there's certain people actually that they were still working, right? But just because now I'm not presenting something, I can go be a content producer or maybe an assistant
In the
somewhere,
background,
whatnot.
yeah.
But for them, that was never enough. And I'm like, dude, but at least you are working. It's like, no, but I'm not in front of the camera. I'm like,
Oh my God, really?
like, did you really love TV presenting?
Yeah, yeah,
that,
the
like,
craft.
all that shoboganye. Right now, it's all about putting food on the table. It's like, dude, like even when I walk into the mall, Gogo, people don't recognize them. Like,
Oh,
Sana, no.
yeah.
Yeah, no. It is a very, it is addictive. It is a dangerous drug.
How many times have you looked at somebody doing something and you're like, but you don't need to do that. You are so and so. How many? I'm sure in your life you've had those moments.
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean?
Like
What do you mean?
somebody who you see as somebody who's accomplished something in life.
Yes.
You know, whether it's financial resources in business,
I see.
whether it's career-wise, they've reached that pinnacle that you personally feel you've set your mark, right? And they do something and you're like, but you don't need to be doing that.
You have all the money.
Like
in the
you
world.
like
Yeah,
why are you doing that? Why do you
putting
think that
yourself out
happens?
there? A lot.
Is the allure, the drug
know.
it's like I want that
Man,
attention,
fame
I want that
sucks, bro.
fame. Yeah.
Fame is a prison.
Yeah.
You see?
It really is.
It's a prison that people don't get it, bro. It's a big prison. There's nothing beautiful like freedom. And having money and being able to do what you want to do whenever and nobody is taking pictures of you or approaches you. People just don't get it. But I guess those people still, man, I don't know. Me personally, fame, I hate fame. It sucks.
I love the work that I do. Love the work that I do. Love the people that I work with. Love the people that, appreciate the work that I do. But sometimes, guys, it gets a bit too much. I get what you're saying when you say, hey, fame, sometimes it's like, now you're walking into, let's say, a convenience store, you're there with your grocery list, and you're like, okay, shop, amasi. And then now they want a whole conversation.
No, they'll say, "Utenga mas." Ah, utenga mas.
Hey, what am I doing here? Because also now focusing is very hard for me. So, yeah.
And then they shock that utenga mas.
Okay, so back to Elon very quickly because
Yes.
I need this to be on record. If he were to get deported, do you guys believe that he would actually come back to South Africa? Because
No.
I see that there's some relenting that's
Nah, he
happening on
won't.
the Starlink thing, where I feel like our government is trying to capitulate to him and say,
No, he's not trying
"We'll
to
give
buy
you
his way
this."
in.
Yeah.
He's taking
So
a
where do you think he's
softer
gonna go though?
approach
Do you think he's gonna come to South Africa? And if he's not South Africa, where is he gonna go?
No, man. Come
Australia.
Australia.
How do y'all know that he's going to Australia? Is that where all the
Do
the
you
white
say
people
Australia?
go? But the Australians don't like white people, especially Africans, white people. I know that's documented.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. They don't like them. They don't want them there.
A lot of New Zealanders.
Yeah.
don't
But
like,
he doesn't he still have family this side?
He does, but guys, he's a billionaire. Let's not forget.
Yeah, also he can
Elon
just
is not like
restart
a
anyway.
guy. Yeah, it's not like a guy somewhere in a motel in America and gets kicked out. He's a billionaire, world recognized billionaire.
Yeah.
He'll go anywhere in the world. They're gonna love his
Inventions
presence,
and
his innovation, his mind, his business interests. He'll go anywhere. He could go to Canada. He will go anywhere. He'll be appreciated. It's not like the only place he has to go. Is what I'm trying to say is South Africa.
South Africa. And
so
also if
he'll
he
be
were to
fine. He
come
doesn't
back-
need to come back to South Africa.
Oh, we would have a field day.
Exactly. He's not gonna come to South Africa. It's not like people like that. If Trump deports Elon, they're gonna meet Elon at Spa. You know, in Crest at Spa. Like, no, guys, he's still a billionaire. Take all the fucking business he does and all the money he's getting from America. He's good. Trust me. He's not gonna need to come back to SA, man. You know. Before we move on, though, bro, EasyBets has got an announcement. Elevate your betting game with easybets.co.za, the site with the biggest bonuses in Sauta. Dive into a world where sports, slots, casino games come alive. You'll get a huge head start. This is at EasyBets with a 50 Rand sign up, no bonus, no deposits required. And here's the real game changer. Your first deposit gets a massive 150% match up to 1,000 rands, meaning you deposit 1,000 rands. On top of that, you get 1,500 rands as a bonus, free of charge. What about if your team lets you down then? Well, EasyBets throws you a lifeline with up to 15% cash back on your losing bets. Where else do you get that? Ready, set, bet. Rush to EasyBets and use the promo code MacG50 for your 50 Rand welcome bonus. EasyBets Group Pty Ltd, licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. Please gamble responsibly. Don't gamble with money that you're willing to lose. Don't gamble with your school fees money, your kids' school fees money, groceries money. Please, guys, gambling is meant to be fun, not a lifeline.
So one of the things that I saw on the internet was the way people reacted to Black Coffee posting his girlfriend. But I think it was not the first time that he's posted her. Or maybe it was under friendship or whatnot. But what I didn't get was, I mean, Black Coffee and Entle, it's been a while now that
they're divorced. It's the past.
You know,
it's gone.
Exactly.
Over.
I'm sure they're good. They're co-parenting. Wonderful stuff. But the comments coming, you know, that were going towards Unanzaka Black Coffee about, and there's nothing wrong. For instance, if Entle were to, let's say,
move on.
Post, exactly, move on. But why is it always wrong when the guy moves on? Now it's like, no, you don't get to move on before she does because you.
Nah, it's because the thing is, man, marriage is between two people and it doesn't work out between two people. But when our marriage doesn't work out and then you don't go on a whole tour, and I don't get this, man, why some women make like divorce. You see, like we spoke about Dalez earlier on, right? And now he's the face of, or you go through a period in your life where maybe now, and then you try to overcome it and you become the face of overcoming this thing, be it a stroke, but some women make it a divorce, where after the divorce, and look, maybe you had a career as an actress, or you have a career as a model, or a businesswoman, then you go through divorce and now it's your thing. Of course, the more you go on this PR run about overcoming the serial cheater, the abuser, if that's the case in some marriages, if that guy now moves on with his innocent life and he's going to be vilified by everybody else and say, oh, how dare you cause so much hurt and harm. But what's a guy to do but move on? Like, what is he to do? Should he now say, oh no, I'm from a divorce and, you know?
Yeah,
so I've got a problem with people then attacking somebody for moving on, and then also with women who make it like a thing, man. And in life, we overcome a lot of things. Sometimes we overcome a year of not getting a job in this game, in this industry. But you don't find somebody making it their thing. And it's like, dude, okay, your marriage didn't work out, right? And sometimes we could all say that, hey, you could have seen the red flags, etc., right? But then this thing doesn't work out and you make it your thing, especially if you had other things going on. I don't get that.
So do you think that divorce unfairly impacts the guy more than the ladies?
Naturally it does, because of there's always an assumption that the guy did something badly.
Okay.
But sometimes it unfairly impacts the guys because of the actions of the women post the divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go around painting somebody as a monster. Now, I remember, like, you listening to an interview where Inka was saying, yeah, he's Black Coffee to everybody else, but not to me. To me, you know, he's Nati, and Nati is capable of X and Y and Z. And I was like, hey, man, but that's for you guys. Melissa Kikaba's woman is going around trying to expose that he's got a porn thing going on. And I'm like,
Another
wow.
one.
And no, just an addiction, alleged addiction.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and
thought
then
I thought.
No, not a porn video.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Like it's got a porn addiction. I'm like, damn, that's so private. You know?
But
Fuck,
people-
how many men consume porn out there? You'd be shocked. That's why OnlyFans girls are buying houses and buying cars, etc. Because of all these men who've subscribed to these porn things. And that's a private thing. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Your relationship didn't work out with this guy, but is there a need to go and expose that to the public? Wasn't your marriage private?
But what's your aversion?
And why do you make these things public when the relationship has failed eventually? You were not making them public then. Because some of us are like, ooh, shit, there's 2 kids. Ooh, but as that was happening, you
sat
it
on
sacred.
top of it. Yeah.
You saw it sacred enough to protect it. So now it's not sacred enough for you not to protect it when your relationship hasn't ended. What about the kids involved? What about everybody else that it affects? So it was only sacred for your selfish benefits. Now that you're not extracting them, or these benefits are not, are you leaving it out there in the public? For me, it's so disingenuous.
But Paulo, so what's your aversion? Is your aversion the fact that the women make things public, or do you have a problem with the fact that the women become the face of the aggrieved with
Both.
the divorce?
Both.
Okay, but our own social history as Black people, especially, and our own social history as humanity, has shown us gore, a gentleman will build with somebody and just walk out and go, build something somewhere else and living this family with somebody. A lot of these women are living their own ambitions. They are living their own goals to build a family with somebody, right? What's happening with that mummy club woman? I forgot her name.
Nosy.
Yeah. I mean, that's painful, bruh.
What's happening?
That is
Sorry,
very
bring me up to speed.
Okay, so
context.
She's been in this marriage with this man. There are 8 kids involved in that marriage. This man, out of the blue, without having told her prior, decides he wants to be in a polygamous marriage. He wants a younger wife. Out of the blue, after all of these things that this woman has built with this man, is now hit with the surprise that, oh, by the way, I want a second wife. If you can't take it, I'm divorcing you, and I'm gonna do it. So you understand this thing? I think it goes both ways. And understand, we are in a culture right now that says feminism and women's rights have gone way too far. We need to correct that and recognize that men also need recognition. But I feel like the overcorrection as well can be detrimental to societal, cohesion. You know what I mean? Because let's just be honest. I mean, I watch Philip Kloppe's reality show right now. What this man is doing to that woman is humiliating.
Is he Philip Kloppe?
Philip Kloppe, the comedian and radio
Felix
personality.
Kloppe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Felix.
It
Oh,
is-
yes,
it is
yes,
humiliating.
Felix.
When that girl decides after
Man, what's
this
her name? She's
ends,
got a white name.
Tracy.
Tracy.
Yes.
When Tracy decides after their marriage ends to come out guns blazing, believe me, I'm on her corner because this man keeps on doing things and saying, "Yindoda emzulu, yindoda emzulu."
What I haven't watched this show.
The same nonsense. They would say now they're using cheating and having a wandering eye as, oh, Mfuni's tame.
Tracy girl.
You get what I'm saying? But
Tracy
the way that
girl.
you see, we respect the elder people who have is tame because it was done in a proper way.
Yes.
That man was not gonna come and flaunt, the new girl or whatever in your face. Was not gonna take your little somebody that's in your home that is working for you and stuff like that, right? It worked then. But we live in a time right now where, let's just be honest, men sometimes are just dogs and are just doing ridiculously
Doggy
heinous
things.
good doggy things, that it makes sense for a woman to come and say, fuck you. It makes sense for a woman to come,
Because-
this man has wasted I've done this for this person.
I'm fully in support of what you're saying, actually,
Thank
Phil,
you.
because now there's this lady now who's got 8 kids with you. One of her own, I think 2 of his, and then they've got their own.
It's their 8 kids.
Right?
They're supporting
Exactly,
them.
their 8 kids. When they first got married, did this guy say, there's a possibility, that I might have Istembu?
Nzozane.
But we are so a possibility.
Yeah.
Was that discussed with her? Because now, if it is not, and then all of a sudden, 8 kids later, we've planned our life. You know how many sacrifices I've made because in the end goal was just to be me and you. and the sacrifice, I know and I acknowledge the sacrifices that you've made, everything that you've done for the family. But our thing was our vision. Ingenaphi ke ngoku enye lena ingenaphi? Ingenaphi enye? So I would say, but it's good for Unozi to speak out because maybe that's her way of healing. Who knows? Maybe she was not really allowed to be vocal in the marriage. Now she's like finding her peace, she's finding her freedom, and she's finding her voice.
No matter who gets attacked in doing so, if because you're pursuing your peace publicly so, and while doing so, you're revealing dirty things about this particular person. Like with the Kikaba porn thing, that's a very private, that's an extremely private thing.
But
you
also,
could always say...
It's private.
Yeah.
She was the one that was also humiliated publicly.
Ish,
video Malusi. But okay,
also, there's that, and then now she's, for instance, on Nozi's case, guys getting married, like all of this is happening. I'm not saying people are not allowed to move on, but if we've once shared something, at least
and let's be honest, guys, it's easier for a man to come out of a marriage and move on and build another life. A woman with 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids cannot start from scratch just as easily. And the very same society that now saying that are the ones that are going to come and try and embarrass a man who goes into a marriage with a woman who's got 3 kids. You gotta go in there and be with a woman who's got 3 kids from another man.
But if you're a man, if you're a man who knows your shit, you're not gonna be worried about women, people telling you that hey, umuntu has got 2-3 kids from a marriage. Like, because what do you expect from a woman who's married to have kids, especially if she wants to have kids and they've agreed to have kids?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But
the reality, if I'm in love with a woman who was in a
Saul?
marriage and she got 3 kids, well, that's what happens in a marriage.
But Saul, what's the reality right now? The reality is that a lot of families, a lot of us are raised by single mothers. Simply because our fathers left their marriages, they divorced and they went and go start other families.
So it's okay for men to publicly then be...
No, man.
No, speaking on what Phil is saying, my favorite is when a guy leaves... his wife, who's got however many children, let's say 3-4 kids, and then is like, actually can't do this, moves on with another partner. That lady already has got 5 kids of her own. And then he raises those kids.
That's messed up. I see where you're going. That's messed up.
And common.
Exactly. Yeah, a very common actually.
That is messed up. Like if you're gonna, as a man, leave your family and you've got children, you don't have a choice. You can opt out. You can walk out of a wife, right?
Yeah.
And which is also sad, but you can't walk out of kids because you brought them to this world.
Yeah.
You know? Especially if you're gonna then go raise other children who are not yours and neglect yours. I'm all for whoever you find. Barenga soti. Watu walina mane. There's a saying. What does it mean?
In English, I don't know how to say it in Zulu.
If I find a woman with a child, I take care of the child.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Mara, you don't abandon yours.
Yeah.
Oh, so
as a man, you don't abandon your child, bro.
It's a closer version of akomda nongazonga bina tata up.
Yeah. Okay. I like the closer one. It's got volumes of alcohol involved.
But listen.
Exactly. So because there's a friend of mine who's got this cousin whose family was going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So now the wife is busy texting the new lady, I think they hadn't probably divorced. 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 They hadn't, officially divorced. And then, please, basically what's happening now on Inimba, please leave my husband alone and whatnot. And then that lady replied and said, so, ngabama bantwana abafuneka bangathi Happy Father's Day this year?
Wait, and are her kids, do they share that? Oh, shit.
No, her husband passed away a long time ago. So now the wife of the new guy is like, dude, can you please just stay away from him? And it's like, no, my kids also deserve to say Happy Father's Day this year.
Yeah, but no, as a stepmom, you gotta know that your man comes with kids, and I blame niggas. I blame a man. If you're gonna be a man, you're gonna be involved with a new woman, and you got kids, and that woman wants you to cut ties with your children. I blame the guy for even allowing himself to have that relationship with that woman, and for even giving her enough,
authority, power,
authority, and to think you can tell you not to have kids. Yeah, like some men are weak, and bro, niggas must understand. In order for you to have a woman and you got kids, and to make that whole thing work, it needs leadership.
Yes,
and needs you communicating with baby mama, new person, loving the new child, and still keeping your child in the frame. It needs leadership and communication. And some guys want that, but they don't. And they just keep quiet.
Yeah,
They let the woman, and that sometimes it can be disastrous.
Yeah.
This one, oh gosh, you need to take center stage because you're the one who's now creating this whole blended family situation.
Exactly.
So therefore you must step up and, and especially when you've got genuine love for your child, and for the woman you're with, naturally you have love for this child as well. But you got to find out whether this child's got a dad, and is the dad involved, and you must play it with wisdom. But you need that communication. About the fact that Fonela, baby mama, Fonela, the new person, or vice versa, already the guy, agna mundu.
Exactly. And I always say this, as much as we say, guys, there are evil, stepmothers and whatnot, the people that are failing are the dads.
Yeah.
Because if I then come into, if a woman, whatever, whomever comes into, let's say, your life, Solna, right? And let's say you were divorced or you do have kids before and so forth. Now, if you don't even take care of your kids, do you think it's over? At least it's school fees or whatnot. They're very rare people that say that. They're very rare people that do that, and they know that, but okay, cool, the guy or the husband is going to listen, but at least it's fine. Take care of our kids, but you remember to take care of your other kids, because at the end of the day, it's not because they're your kids and I want you to just take care of my kids. The kids are siblings. So now how are the siblings going to, relate to each other? Like now it's going to be, oh yeah, your dad did this for you. Oh, well, he didn't do that for me.
And
now we've got a problem.
Guys don't even realize that that's how it affects the kids.
Exactly.
Because you're already now making these kids feel more important than these other kids.
Yeah.
And already they're not going to see one another as siblings. They'll see one another as superior or inferior. Like, we the guys who get the fucking Jordans and y'all get the toughies or whatever. I don't know how it works. But shout out to Reason. I'm impressed and disappointed at the same time. So I saw a tweet of his.
Yeah.
First of all, fuck everyone who talks shit about me for having kids I love. So a few weeks ago, he posted himself with his, how many kids? 6? With his 6 children, right?
Isn't it 1, 2, 5?
Is it 5?
Yeah.
The 5, yeah. The Love twins and his other children.
Yes.
Yeah. How dare you? We live in a world where niggas don't show up for one child, which is a fact. And you make a joke out of a nigga who fights to show up for all 5? All 5, yeah. Bitch, I'm showing up. And for me, it's like, yo, dude, how do you let Twitter even get to you like that, right? And guys, I remember posting a birthday party for my child after people were angry at Mac for saying meanie and whatever, suggesting things and odors. And then people were angry at that. But it's Twitter. That's how it is. That's how it goes, right? Nobody's got a perfect life, but when you post your imperfect life, even though you're making efforts for everybody to be happy in your imperfect life, let's be honest, guys. Having a baby mama already, one baby mama, is imperfect. You always want to be with one person, be you married or not, but you're with them for the rest of your life. All your kids come from that person. That's the perfect version of how life should be.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not perfect, but for making things work in that imperfectness, it's like we found love in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
It works. So for him to have a beautiful thing like that and then allowing external voices to get him to a place of anger like that, to me, it's silly.
Smack. Yeah.
But I think it's just checking them and letting them know. I don't think he's trying to fuel anything. I think it's just saying, and I think that kind of response is the kind of response that will stop them from actually commenting on his kids.
Don't,
Again,
don't,
can I?
don't.
Well, I mean, the discernible one. Of course, there'll always be this.
There's no
but here's one thing that
discernible ones.
I wanted to say on this, and mine on this is that everybody deserves to be in a happy relationship. Be in a happy marriage, because staying in an unhappy marriage does not do anything good for your kids.
Yeah.
Nor yourself. You're not doing your kids any favors by being in a marriage or a relationship simply because of them, right? But at the same time, if you leave that marriage, you do not have control or do not have authority over how the other people perceived what the marriage is.
Yeah.
So what bothered me about your take on this, and I'm glad that we had a conversation and I think you've evolved on it, is that thing, no, men, why should things be said publicly that will embarrass the men, whatever? If that's her story, and that's how she perceives her marriage to have been, and wants to deal with this loss and this new chapter, that's her closure, whatever.
Yeah.
Understand? How you are going to handle it on the other side, that's on you. You get what I'm saying? So this thing, life is not homework, guys. Like, it's not group work, not homework. This thing, now we have to be always saying, men are treated this way. Women are treated this way. I think we need to get to a point, since we all have platforms these days, everybody has a platform, of just allowing people to deal with their situations as individuals and the uniqueness of their individualism in that situation. Because we don't know what black coffee and when this situation is, and that situation cannot be the template that we judge everybody else.
And also, there's a lot of grieving that goes into that, because we might see it as you're going around speaking about this, your relationship, whatnot, but you forget that sometimes divorce feels like you've lost someone. Like it feels like death.
Yeah.
It feels like death. And I would say I would much rather like death than divorce, because now you're grieving someone that's still alive. You're grieving. Like when you grieve someone that's like passed away, it's like even when you think about speaking to them or miss them or you want to remind them of something, you can't, because they're not there. Now you're seeing this person, you're bumping into each other, or there's a whole lot, and especially with let's say how the relationship or the marriage ended, you don't know how much trauma they both went through, or the lady went through. So she is seeking, I think, either to be heard, because she feels like she's not had a voice within her marriage, but also she feels like maybe she wants to connect with people that have been through similar situations and be like, listen, it's okay. You will be okay. It's going to be fine. Lena ke yoba
Yeah. You see, I feel like you guys are making a valid point.
Yeah.
Right? It's her story. But also, women coming out of divorces must be careful to tell their story and also try and respect the guy's privacy and not vilify the guy in their story. Because the stories
is the villain.
The stories tend to say, not speak of the hurts they're going through, but also, oh, by the way, he had 3 kids while I was with him. Oh, by the way, he had a porn addiction while I was with him. Now, that's already a violation of my privacy. It's like, I've told the world I've got 2 kids. You're telling them I've got 3 more. You are doing that. And that's my story. Not your story, my story. You can speak of your story of hurt, your story of betrayal, not necessarily getting into the details, because now that starts to go over the lines of his life as well. That it's a part of life that he's tried to keep private.
Yeah.
So I do understand there's a trauma and certain pain that comes with a divorce. I've never been divorced. I've never been a woman. I'll never be a woman who's divorced. But also, I'd hate to be sitting either on a plane from Ibiza to Mexico or in my little 4-room house in Alex, and my woman is telling people what I did in our marriage. What I did. It's cool she can talk about her part of the marriage and whatever, but now when it's gonna overlap into my things, I feel like it's a violation.
Now,
of my privacy.
Totally get it when it comes to kids. Mara, suka. Phil, last thoughts?
No, I'm good. I hear him.
Should.
Like, I honestly do hear him that especially if those things did not were not the reasons for our divorce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if you had some disease that I get it. There's certain things are just private
Example.
to the person. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. Example?
Example. When I was on this podcast, I went through a breakup, right? And not once did I talk about what she did.
Yeah.
And I could have. Oh, I could have. And you see the Twitter comments you're saying appearing on Black Coffee status, etc. She was going to get that at work, get that in her family, get that when she goes back home in her community, get that from her new landlord because she's no longer staying with me, get that from everybody. Like, we know what you did. Saul said it.
Yeah.
You get me? But I could always come and talk about my pain and without implicating her because you know what harm that will do because I've got the platform here, right? And similarly, now had I spoken like that, she then could have gone on to any other podcast or Tito's podcast. You would love that. Tito's podcast, and then she would be like, I tell all about Saul. Black Coffee can never tell all about Enke.
Yeah.
Manuski Gaba can never tell all about his ex-wife. All the guys can. They've got recourse to ever tell all about their exes.
Yeah.
Then it becomes more war zone.
Yeah, you win.
So let's please tread carefully after.
Okay.
Now, especially,
Yeah, I concede. No, you made your point. I was not getting you there. I was not on your...
No, I know you.
But I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I get you. And I'm glad that you understand where I was coming from and all of that. Yeah, cool.
Get where we both are coming from, but nizi bastard. And in fact, you know, if they want to open their own channel, open Viva Woman forever.
You have two sons. I'm a daughter, man. They're twins. They'll become, this is when they get older.
Obviously, about those ninja, they're puppies.
Puppies grow to become
dogs. All right, guys. I think it has been great. It's been amazing. Always lovely spending time with you.
The kiss.
You and your big heads. Yes.
What are you imagining now? Hey, the kiss.
I
got big hands though.
Well, the first time, before you told me about the Mtata story, I imagined something else. But like when you see someone getting robbed, Saul, Ogwembama.
Yo, bro.
Ogwembama. But okay, it is what it is, Phil. Always good seeing you. Wow. As from myself, Mushendigi, I was going to see you some other. It's most probably going to be next week.
Cheers.
If you've made it this far, we really appreciate you guys. Make sure you support by subscribing, liking, sharing, and don't forget to comment. Kezo.
Imenzeni, ay imenzeni.